The trading post on Valor 9 had seen better days. Melissa wiped the dust from her visor as she surveyed the crowded marketplace, her boots crunching on the rust-colored sand. Beside her, Peyton adjusted the plasma rifle slung across his shoulder, his eyes scanning the alien crowd with practiced wariness. "I don't like this," Peyton muttered, his voice crackling through the comm. "Too many Cravathi mercs in one place." Melissa smirked beneath her helmet. "Relax. We're just here for supplies and information. In and out." The humans had only been part of the Galactic Council for 3 standard cycles, barely a blip in the cosmic timeline. Most species still viewed them as curiosities, soft, weak creatures from a backwater world who had stumbled into FTL travel through sheer luck. Melissa and Peyton had heard it all before. They'd learned to let their actions speak louder than alien prejudices. The marketplace buzzed with activity. Merchants from a dozen worlds hawked their wares while translators chirped in overlapping frequencies. Melissa moved through the crowd with fluid grace, her compact frame weaving between towering Hectarians and chittering Zexil traders. Peyton followed, his larger build drawing more attention. They found their contact at a dingy stall near the eastern perimeter, a Nelthari information broker named Vesikar, whose 3 eyes glinted with avarice. "Humans," Vesikar hissed, his translator rendering the words with appropriate disdain. "Your credits are good, but your presence attracts trouble." "Just give us the coordinates," Melissa said, sliding a credit chip across the counter. Before Vesikar could respond, a roar shattered the marketplace's ambient noise. The crowd scattered like wind-blown leaves, revealing the source of the disturbance. A Cravathi warrior, easily 3 meters tall and massing over 500 kilograms, stood in the center of the square. Its 4 arms flexed, each one corded with alien muscle that could crush steel. Bone ridges protruded from its skull and spine, and its eyes, 6 of them, burned with territorial rage. "Human!" the Cravathi bellowed, its translator amplifying the challenge. "You dare walk among your betters? Your species is an insult to the Council!" Peyton's hand moved toward his rifle, but Melissa grabbed his wrist. "Don't! We start a firefight here. We'll have every merc and bounty hunter on this rock after us." "So what's your plan?" Peyton asked, though he already knew that look in her eyes. The Cravathi charged. To most species, the sight of a Cravathi in full battle rage was enough to trigger every survival instinct evolution had provided. They were apex predators from a high-gravity world, bred for combat, and nearly unstoppable once committed to violence. The marketplace's remaining spectators pressed against the walls, expecting to see the small human crushed like an insect. Melissa didn't run. She didn't even raise her weapon. Instead, she waited, her body coiled like a spring, every muscle calibrated through years of training. Humans might be weaker than Cravathi, might lack their armored hide and redundant organs, but humanity had been perfecting the art of combat for millennia. While the Cravathi evolved to dominate through raw power, humans evolved to win through strategy, technique, and sheer audacity. The alien closed the distance in seconds, all 4 arms reaching to grab and tear. At the last possible moment, Melissa moved. She didn't dodge sideways or backward. Instead, she jumped directly toward the charging behemoth. Her timing was perfect, the product of thousands of hours in training simulations and real combat. She used the Cravathi's own momentum against it, her hands finding purchase on its bone ridges as she vaulted onto its broad back. The alien roared in confusion, its 6 eyes unable to track the prey that had disappeared from its forward vision. It spun, trying to dislodge the human, its 4 arms flailing uselessly. But Melissa had already locked her position. Her legs wrapped around the Cravathi's thick torso, finding the gaps between its armored plates. Her left arm snaked around its neck, or what passed for a neck on its anatomy. She'd studied Cravathi physiology during the flight to Valor 9, memorizing the location of their primary circulatory vessels and neural clusters. Her right arm completed the hold, gripping her left wrist to create an unbreakable lock. Then she squeezed. It was a technique humans called a rear naked choke, refined over centuries in combat sports and military applications. The principle was simple, but devastatingly effective. Restrict blood flow to the brain, and even the mightiest opponent would fall unconscious in seconds. The Cravathi thrashed wildly, its forearms trying desperately to reach the human on its back. Its massive hands grabbed at empty air while its roars became strangled gasps. Melissa adjusted her position minutely. Her smaller size now an advantage as she stayed out of reach, maintaining perfect pressure on the alien's carotid equivalent. 10 seconds, 15, 20. The Cravathi's movements became sluggish. Its 6 eyes rolled, losing focus. Its legs wobbled, struggling to support its massive weight. 25 seconds. The alien crashed to its knees, sending up a plume of rust-colored dust. Its breathing was labored, consciousness fading as its brain starved for oxygenated blood. 30 seconds. The Cravathi collapsed face first into the sand, unconscious. Melissa maintained the hold for 5 more seconds, ensuring the creature was completely subdued, then released and rolled away in one fluid motion. She landed in a crouch, ready to re-engage if necessary. The marketplace was silent. Hundreds of alien eyes stared at the small human standing over the fallen warrior. Even Peyton's mouth hung slightly open. Melissa straightened, brushing dust from her armor. Anyone else have something they want to say about humanity? The silence deepened. The Cravathi were supposed to be unbeatable in close combat, the galaxy's premier warriors, and a human female who barely massed 70 kilograms had just rendered one unconscious in half a minute using nothing but technique. Vesikar's translator broke the silence with a nervous chirp. The coordinates. Yes, here. The broker practically threw the data chip at Melissa. As the humans made their way out of the marketplace, Peyton finally found his voice. That was insane. You know that, right? Melissa grinned. Humanity didn't claw its way to the top of Earth's food chain by being the biggest or strongest. We got there by being the smartest, the most adaptable, and the most stubborn species on the planet. These aliens are about to learn what that really means. Behind them, the Cravathi was beginning to stir, its pride bruised far worse than its body. Word would spread fast. The humans weren't just lucky. They were dangerous. And the galaxy was just beginning to understand why.